Hello everyone and welcome, it's Shanna. So on my live the other day, I made this vintage layer bulb card, and I'd made this cardstock with this Altenew ink to cut out my ornaments, and I've got some of this paper left, or cardstock left, that I have used the ink on, and I'm going to use it for the Whimsical bottle brush trees here that I have from Spellbinders. This is part of the Simon Hurley tree collection, I believe. And what we're going to do is just die cut all of our little tree pieces, actually the ferns or the leaves of the trees, out of all of these different Altenew ink colored cardstock pieces that I have here. And I'll get all of my die cutting done and we'll come back in because it does take me a minute to do the die cutting. And so now we've got all of our little tree pieces, and I've done the trees in all four colors, and I've actually used all of the dies for this. And what I'm going to do is actually just layer up put two layers of each full tree together. And I'll use a dark tone and a light tone on each one so that we'll have like an offset look to it. And then all of those other leaves that are just partial trees, I'm not going to use for this card because I don't have enough space for it, but I will show you how to kind of assemble one of them just so you can kind of get the feel of what the limbs would look like if we just use those for trees. I think you could also use them for fillers on these trees or to make these trees taller if you wanted to. You could certainly do that. But for now, I'm just going to layer up the two tones on these, and I'm planning to use just 3 trees on my card because of the way the space that I'm going to have on my card. I've already kind of planned out my card elements, and so I know that I need to be able to fit them into the small space that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and layer the 4th one up just because I have it, and then I can have it to use with my other style of trees as well. So here's where I'm going to kind of show you how you could assemble some of these individual branches or leaves or whatever to create a different kind of tree. And so I'm just going to layer them up with a large on the bottom, medium in the middle, and then a smaller one on top. And I am using, 3 different colors on there to kind of layer it up. And this would just kind of be a little droopy tree is what it would look like. And I'll bring in my stem just to kind of show you what that would look like. But we've got 3 stems die cut out there because we're just going to do 3 trees. And then the bases for the trees actually have a layer on there. And I've used the silver metallic, and so I'll have a hard time getting it to stick together. I'll pinch them together with my reverse tweezers and kind of hold them. And I've only got 2 set of them, so I'll get them laid aside, and then the 3rd one I'll kind of fiddle with and have to re-glue it as we go. But I was really excited about the live that I did on Sunday night and the ornaments. I really like the color tone. I love that it was cardstock that I had, put the ink on, and of course, the 4 colors are designed to go together, so I thought it looked super pretty. And I had that bit of cardstock laying there, and I didn't want to waste it. And I thought, what, a better idea than to use it on these whimsical bottle brush trees. And so that's what I'm doing. Now here, I wanted to find a good way to stick that metallic down without having to fight with it. So I just cut my double-sided tape strip in half so it'd be real thin, and I'm going to use it to attach my stems to it because they're just real little and I don't want to have to worry about them sticking or whatever. And so I'm just going to attach them that way, and we'll do all 3 of them. Here's my emerald cut frame that I'm going to use on my card, and that's why I want just 3 because I want to make sure all 3 of them will fit. And I was measuring the height on this one to make sure that it will fit inside that emerald frame as well. So today, let's see, I want to kind of update you on what I've done today. I got up early, about 7 o'clock, and I had a little bit of time to have my coffee and my quiet time. And then I had to get ready to go to the dentist. I think I mentioned on a video or live or whatever that I'd been last week, and I had to go back and get some fillings. And so today's my day off from having the boys. And so I got up and I went to the dentist. And the patient in front of me took a little bit longer than what they had anticipated. So I had to kind of sit there and wait for a little bit. So I was in there for a good hour and a half. And so when that got done, I was completely numbed up. I mean, he had me really numbed up. But I wanted to go to the church and get my work done. And so I knew I could do it. I would just be talking funny and looking funny, and I didn't really care. So I did go over and get that done. And then I thought, gosh, it's my only day off, and I haven't been able to get my nails done. So I called the nail salon, and they were able to get me in. So then I ran over to the nail salon, which is an adjacent town, and got my nails done, and then grabbed a bite at Chick-fil-A, my favorite place to eat when I'm in town there, because we don't have one in our town. And so I enjoyed a nice little lunch by myself. And then I was able to go to the little dollar store. And they had some little crafty items that I wanted to pick up that I needed. I actually get some of their foam tape pretty regularly and use it. It's very inexpensive, and they give you 3 different widths in their package, and so a lot of times I'll pick it up and grab it. So I grabbed several of those packages, and then they had some twine that were in some colors I didn't have. They had red and white, blue and white, and I think a green and white, and I thought those were great colors for Christmas, so I went ahead and picked up some of those. Let me think, did I get anything else? I don't think so. I think that's all I got in there. And then I just popped by my daughter's and saw her for a minute. And then I got back home, and it was about, I think it was 3 o'clock. So my day was almost gone. So I wanted to get in my craft room. And so got in here, and I thought, I'm going to work on this card here. So that leads me to where we are now. But it's been a good day. It was a nice sunny day. It was not too cold. I did wear a sweater today just so that I'd make sure that I was comfortable, but overall it was a pretty good day. When I did get to Chick-fil-A, and I thought, I think it was like 3 hours later, I thought, well, I'm, should be, pretty, the numbness should be worn off. So I ordered, and I kind of felt like it was, and I ordered my food and everything. I got it. When I sat down with my tea and I had a straw and I went to drink it, I could hardly even form my lips in the pursing mode to be able to drink it. And when I did drink it, kind of was slurpy and drippy, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I was embarrassed. So the whole time I sat there trying to eat my food and drink my drink and, not look ridiculous. So I kept putting my hand up to kind of cover my mouth. But eventually it did wear off. And I just have a little bit of tenderness from, them drilling around in there and poking around. Now I'm checking to make sure my hands aren't clean. I started to use my acrylic block to push them down, and then I realized it wasn't very clean. So I quickly pulled that off of there, and I thought, I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to glue these up, and I'm trying to get them positioned on here nicely so that my frame will go around them. And we'll just use a little bit of glue and get them laid down on there. And then I'm going to get my card base. I think I'm going to get this laid down on my card base. Maybe I do my, I think I'm going to layer this up with the foam tape first and do my embellishments and then put it on there. I think that's what I do. Now I'm careful to, I don't want to get it too close to the edge, and I want to make sure that I'm meeting, that it meets at every point. And because we've got kind of this emerald cut, I'm going to kind of angle it to where I can get the points to meet up. And that way I won't have to do a small angle piece for the corners. And so I'll just cut an angle that I can get to fit in there and that will butt right up next to that other piece. I only had 2 pieces of my Gina K shaker strips, and I didn't think it was enough to cover this, so that's why I went with this foam tape here. And this works out just fine. So just cut that on an angle and get it to butt right up next to the next piece. And then I'm going to use my bone folder to press it down really good just to make sure we've got a good adherence. And I had glued that acetate that has the snowflakes on it down and laid it aside so it'd have plenty of time to adhere. And then I've just got some sprinkle mix that are pink and dark pink and light pink, and I'm just going to lay some down on here. I'm not sure where they came from. They were in a little tiny bag, almost like a sample. So I'm not sure where they came from, but the colors seem to be right for this color scheme that I had going, so I just used those. Now you can kind of see the snowflakes on the acetate. And I got this acetate with the snowflakes from my friend Daria. She had sent me some goodies, and this was one of them. It's a big sheet, and I just cut down what I needed so that I'll have more to use later. And this is what our card's going to look like. So I'm going to give it another press just to make sure I've got it adhered to that white emerald cut panel there. And then we'll get it laid down. And because I'm using an embossed, 3D embossed panel, I decided that I would use some double-sided tape and some glue to get this laid down on there. And then I'll be sure that it will adhere to that 3D panel and not have to worry about it falling off when I give it to someone. And I'm having a time getting this backer strip lifted, so I'll have to grab my 2-in-1 tool from Spellbinders and lift it and pull it off there. And then we'll get some glue laid down on there. We'll make sure that we get it lots of glue on there to adhere it, and then we'll line it up on the glass mat so we can get it even and get it laid down on there. And I think it looks really pretty. So now all we need is a sentiment. And so I'm going to bring in my Better Press, and I've got a Home for the Christmas Better Press set of sentiments, and there's all kinds of fun ones in here, and I'm just going to do the whole batch, and I'm going to bring in that darkest Altenew, I think it's called Raspberry, and just ink this up, and then we'll run it through the press plate, and we will have, I don't know, what is it, 6 sentiments that we can choose from. And it's about time for dinner. I'm getting hungry. My stomach is growling. I don't know if you heard that or not. But so we'll just run it through, and then we'll just pop them out. So we've got Let It Snow, Christmas Time, Snuggle Season, Most Wonderful Time. I can't remember what the other ones are. But we'll just play around with them and decide which ones I want to use on there. We've got Most Wonderful Time. I don't know if I said that or not. And we'll just pop all them out. And I love when they do the dies where you press them and cut them all out in a single pass. It is just fantastic. So I'm just laying all of these up there and just trying them all out. And I left that Most Wonderful Time. This is Christmas Time. And Sugar Plum Kisses, I think. And I just left the Most Wonderful on there because as soon as I laid that down, I knew that's what I wanted to put on there. So I'm just bringing in some of those thin foam strips, and we'll get it popped up on our card. I didn't want to use glue because we're going to lay it down on acetate. And we'll just get it laid down on there. I think it turned out super cute. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye now.